to the Beaver game. Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm trying to figure it out right now with my gameplay audio. Also, is it just me, or did they change all the sound effects in this game? I think my audio might be glitching, but it sounds like everything's like pitched higher. Did they change the audio of everything? Like, it's similar, but it sounds like it's different sounds everywhere. Like, it sounds like they just pitched up the audio for most things. Like, it doesn't even sound like they changed it that much. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't play the sound anywhere except for when I'm on my PC, so. Why the early stream? Just because we didn't really have a roster review stream earlier this week, because I was busy, and so I figured let's do a roster review stream before we do our GAC stream later tonight. And I had a little bit of time today before I had plans, and so I figured let's do it. Violet the Voidborn coming in with the Armed and Dangerous. When are we starting RRs? Immediately. Best way to get a roster review is to go to the Discord. Our order of operations is people that have the $10 membership or higher, and then below that are people who super chat. Below that are Discord, and so the best way to get a free roster review is to go through the Discord on the roster review section, and then people in chat. And we rarely get to the people in chat. Like I think the last time we got to the people in chat, it's probably been 9 months. So. I'll be putting in a message saying roster reviews live now, and then anything after that will be posted. And priority roster reviews are $5 US if you guys are wanting to super chat and make sure you're at the top of the line. I will give Saucy a moment to get into the Discord before we open it up to the forum, because it does fill up very quickly typically. So yeah, I don't like the new sound effects. Fight me. We officially have a new tier that we can access with, we have Gear 12. Nice, Jack Dag. I wish I could make our sound louder, but it's completely different. It's like pitched up like by 2 tones. How does one participate? Is Lord Zenith. You just put in your ally code and give me a little blurb about your account. I have no idea how to use these characters. Let's use this one. Yeah, do you hear that glitching in and out of the sound? Hold on. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't know why my setup's being so glitchy. All you need for your Java is Outrider? Heck yeah, dude. I mean, it's the longest farm of them, so hopefully you have it close, but heck yeah. That sounds better, right? There's no, yeah, there's no glitching in the sound now. Okay. It still isn't editable, but editable on my side, but I mean, the volume doesn't sound very bad, so. No, it's not my headphones. Every other sound is fine. It was just this. So it was basically right now, as much as I don't like it, right now I'm running a dual PC setup. And so I have 2 PCs set up. And I've just had nothing but problems since I've set this up. Just all the ways to do this just seem really unoptimized, poorly done. Like they're solid for like what a lot of people need to do. But with where graphics cards are at nowadays, I don't think it's really necessary. And so I'm going to be cutting down to a single PC build again, because I've had nothing but problems like this ever since I did my dual PC build. So hey, Big Texas, good to see you, my friend. Drill, good to see you. Yes, I did just get a haircut, or rather I got them all cut. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, I think it was just my connection, because now it's back to normal. Yeah, it was my connection with my capture card, because now all the sounds are back to normal. That's so odd. I was gonna say, it sounds like it's just pitched up a couple octaves. It's not actually like, you know, changed the sounds. They're the same sounds. It just sounds like they're pitched up a couple because of my connection with my capture card. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I wanted to check this real quick. We need, Inquisitorius. Okay, I did not put on a Zeta onto Third Sister. Kind of regret not putting a Zeta on Third Sister. I think that would have been a better idea. I was trying to remember which Zeta I put on before lock-in. Oh, I did put a Zeta and I just forgot to lock it in. Dang it. I was like, I wanted to do that one because I didn't think any of the Unaligned Force user teams, the Zetas were really transformative, but this Zeta is, or not this one, this Zeta is transformative. And so I wanted to put that one on. I just forgot to lock it in. We'll have it for next week. Okay. I have not done my dailies today. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I'm at cap. Okay, let's start on this list. I will go through from top to bottom, and I'll be deleting them as I go, just to basically make sure I know where I'm at any given minute. Hey, Tyler Cox, good to see you. My friend Grax, good to see you. Will you be playing Marvel Mystic Mayhem when it releases. The release date is unknown since it's a semi-match between Swago and MSF and Raid. I'll give it a shot, sure. Didn't DC just come out with their own hero collector? Hey, Otter, morning, my friend. Nice, Burrito Express. Also might be something to look into is if you haven't already, get the mods that make it so it runs more optimally, because Minecraft's terribly optimized. I don't remember the name of the exact mod, but it's like the #1 most downloaded mod in the game. Interesting, Grax. I don't know. We'll see. It makes sense that they would make that, though, because Marvel Strike Force is losing steam pretty quickly. Their constant meta chasing thing that they force people into is not something a lot of people like, and it tends to be like you enjoy the game in the early game, and then you very quickly lose interest in the game. What is the strat to beat Malik? Have you not watched my guide, Big Texas? Bob and the Duck, you have a membership, my friend. So people gifted memberships, and you happen to get one. Combo base builder and gotcha hero collector. Oh, interesting. Well, tomorrow you can just stay here and hang out. It doesn't? Well, let me go fix that right now. Because if someone looks up Malik Guide and I'm not popping up, then I'm upset. Content. Malik. Okay. We're gonna do something real quick. I think I know how to make this so it's better. Let's see. We're gonna get rid of you. So you're gonna switch over. And then we'll get rid of that. We'll throw that in there. We'll drop you. And get rid of all that. Get rid of that. Okay. Sorry, guys. Give me just a second. Okay, well, we got Shack Dag first. Well, this loads. When the RR starting basically right now, Bobbin, but I'm just fixing something to make, you know, something a little bit more searchable so people don't have as much of a struggle. Okay. So, for the non-paid roster reviews, we will have our using our timer. Let's make sure our timer's working. Oh, I figured out why that's not working. Okay, that looks like our timer's working. There we go. That should fix the problem that I was trying to do. How do we get a roster review? Type in !Discord. There's a section called How to Get a Roster Review, as well as the roster review section to sign up. Okay, that'll have to work. And then I just bring in that. I'm gonna move you in just a hair like that. Because a lot of the reasons, so basically what I'm doing right now, guys, for those of you who are actually like, you know, I don't know, curious about YouTube and the inner workings of YouTube. So YouTube will push a video less to people if it doesn't like the thumbnail. So the thumbnail doesn't include your face in it, it's not clear what's happening in it, it doesn't test well as a thumbnail. And so what I'm doing right now is I noticed that the thumbnail for my Malak guide is absolute doo-doo. Because it's really hard to see what's going on. There's not any like drop shadows for the characters or outer glow for them, and so it's really hard to see what's going on. And so I did this for my original Ray guide way back when, and it like jumped it up to the first page for people to find, so that way they could find it easier. And I've been meaning to go back and just kind of go through and fix a lot of my older stuff. So like for instance, here, let's pull it up. Malak, Rabid Beaver. And so that's the current one. It doesn't look great. It doesn't, obviously. This is the one that I just whipped up to use. So yeah, now it'll look sexy, YouTube will like it, and so hopefully it'll show up on the front page for Malak Guide from now on to help you guys out. Hey, Boot, welcome. Okay, let me catch up on chat real quick. I apologize, guys. And then we'll jump right into this roster review. Let's see. Purchases for the DC game, but quit when they started running fake ad campaign. Oh, like in the beta, they threw in ads to like show what it would be like. That's awful. Oh, what do you describe playing Rivals again? I want to do that some more. That was so much fun. I'll have to reach out to Scribe and see if there's like a certain day of the week that he'd be free to stream together, because like honestly, that was so much fun. I don't think it was overall something that I'll do on the main channel, but I think that'll be a permanent part of the PP channel from here on out, is trying to get Scribe and I together, because that was honestly so much fun. Love that, Tavoy. Commander Lex coming in with the 5 Canadian. We'll do you right after Shack Dag, my friend. Thank you so much. Why'd you attack the family on the kayak? They gave me a side eye and I wasn't happy about it. Yeah, I literally did the Zepho mission without any changing of mods. I'm going to have a guide for the Zepho mission out next week, as well as I'll be doing one for Mandalore unlock, because there's a lot of, just like every event that we do in this game, there's a lot of people who are like, just god mod it, and it's like, you don't need to. You just need to understand the strat and you're good. Unfortunately, it's not some one of those things that I can just sit there and get the exact speeds down, but I have a fairly good idea of where the speeds need to be to guarantee first turn and all that type of stuff, just kind of by accident, because my characters were already kind of there at the exact spot by accident, so it worked out fairly well. That's so dumb, Peter. Okay, and pretty much autoplays by itself. I don't know if I like that, Grax. Okay, let's jump into Shack Dag's roster review, and then we will do Commander Lex. Okay, Shack Deck. Going for JKCK, wondering what to do next. Also wondering if I get Malik to R5 to save gear and relic mats for JKCK. Wait, if I should get Malik to R5 or save gear and relic mats for JKCK. Also as a meme, how far am I away from Lord Vader? Probably really close. I don't remember all the requirements offhand, but let's count them off. Let's see if I can remember all of them. You don't have a relic Newt Gunray. You don't have a relic Count Dooku. You need Zam is for the other one. Zam's for JMK, right? Then you have Bad Batch. You have the Bad Batch done. 501st. You need a Relic 8 ARC Trooper, a Relic 8 General Skywalker. You need a Relic 8 Padme. You have a Gear 12 Padme. Yeah, you're getting really close to finishing Lord Vader. Like, what I suggested? No. Zam is for Lord Vader, so yeah, you have Zam basically done. Like, you probably have a good 3/4 of the requirements done or close to. Like, it's probably real close. Doesn't mean I suggest going for it. Now, should you Relic 5 Malik or should you save for JKCK? You have a home for JKCK. You have JML, you have tons of Jedi, you have a home for him. Whereas for your Malik, yes, he can solo characters on certain teams. They're not the best teams overall, but you're probably going to see them in the area you are in the game. But you don't have your Darth Revan finished, you don't have your Malik finished, your Sith Empire isn't finished, whereas your Jedi are, and it's going to help out your guild with being Zepho ready. And so I personally would save up for the JKCK if you are that close. That's right, Tarkin. Yeah, Tarkin is probably also done in this account. The Tarkin requirement for him, I'm trying to figure out where it comes from, because there's like 4 different places it could come from, and that's probably why they did it. But I'm curious if they had anything to do with the Tarkin book, which I actually really enjoyed the first time I read it. But yeah, so I would say for JKCK, just because he's close. Like, it's literally just right there. Interesting that your Darth Revan is your fastest unit at Gear 12. I do like seeing Jedi Knight Revan and Piet up here, but your overall mods could definitely use some work. If you have a Jabba the Hutt, you should have an over 300 speed Bosch Leia. You know, a lot of your characters could definitely use some better mods, and I'm hoping Jabba the Hutt helps with that. I do highly suggest making sure that you're not taking mods too far. It is something that a lot of people do, and you can't afford it when you're this early. Like, you know, when you're later on, you can do the stupid crap that they were talking about on the Scoundrels Cantina, where like, you're like, yeah, I just buy random mods from the store. I don't actually ever farm mods, and then I just level up what I get from the store, and if they're good, they're good. If not, then I just keep trying. And it's like, dude, people can't afford to do that. That is the most bougie. I am, you know, over 10 million GP and don't care anymore. He did agree with and meet Tarkin in Clone Wars. He also, Tarkin shows up in the end scene of episode 3, walking up to them looking at the Death Star. Tarkin also works closely with Darth Vader in the Tarkin book, which is written by James Luceno, the guy that wrote the Plagueis books. Very much likes to connect all of the Star Wars books in his books. Very, very knowledgeable about the Star Wars universe. And mindful of it. And then, you know, in that there's a lot of background that kind of ties Tarkin and Vader together. So I'm just kind of curious if it was just the Clone Wars aspect, or basically I'm asking how big of fans were the creators back when Lord Vader came out, because, you know, the current team is very much nerds, and you can see it in a lot of the stuff they do. But, you know, I'm just kind of curious, well, why Tarkin? It's less of it's a rhetorical question, honestly, because there's not really any way we could find out that answer. But yeah, your mods are one of the things that I'm worried about right now. Let's take a quick look at your ships. Dude, this fleet, it still needs to be worked on. It's still a good fleet. The fact that it can still be Executor is solid. Yeah, it's a little bit less, but you just use Executrix and it does it. Your First Order's in shambles. Yeah, fleets and mods. This is one of the biggest things that, I mean, there's a reason I made a video about this. Where, you know, the 2 biggest things the Lightspeed bundle players are missing are mods and ships. And the sooner you work on them, the better. But Until then, you're kind of like screwing over your account because the mods are like a yearly thing. You can't get easy mods, and you can't buy mods either. Like whales cannot get access to better mods. It's not something they can do. Like, yeah, they can get better slicing materials. They can get more of the slicing materials if they spend money, but that's about it. There's not really a way to pay for good mods without spending an insane amount of money. And even then, you're not getting any bang for your buck. And then ships, of course, ships are 6 months farms from 0 star to 7 star. 3 months if you give it one refresh. That's a long time for something you're working on. So ships need to be worked on. So overall, mods and ships are your big thing. After you finish JKSDK, you mentioned you want to know what's next. Clean up your roster, dude. We mentioned this last time we looked at your account. I'm almost positive. Because I'm pretty sure we did a not passion project, a panic farm roster review for you. And like you have a Hondo that's overinvested, underinvested. You have a Sith Empire that's overinvested, underinvested. You have a Captain Rex that could be taken up, bounty hunter team that can be taken up. You have a ton in your roster that could be taken up. So I'd take a break and get some of this stuff up and running and then move on. Plus, you need to start working on your ships hard, especially because you don't have enough Zetas for all of your characters. And so you need to build up Zetas. You are in Zeta debt. So focusing on mods, focusing on ships, and focusing on cleaning up is going to give you more Zetas into your roster and more time to build that stuff up. So we doing member reviews right now. Anyone with a $10 membership can get a live roster review or priority roster review every single month. So they just get to insert themselves at the top of the list during any given stream. Yeah, see, they wouldn't sell it for that cheap, Burrito. They know how expensive people would spend for mods. Been a lot of fun for me since I like PvE more than I like PvP. Fair enough, Grax. To each his own for sure. Executor almost done. 7-star Razor Crest. Only have IG 2000 for required ships. Very nice. It hurts that you still haven't finished your Wampa, dude. Finish your Wampa. That is literally a full team that you're sleeping on, especially with the area of the game that you're in. Like, dude, 2 gear pieces away. What is that? A 6-star Huyang with a Zeta and an Omicron? Goodness gracious. Yeah, I mean, keep going. I mean, there's not really much I can tell you because you're mid-farm and there's not really any room to do excess farms during it because you're doing fleet farms. And so, like, finish your Wampa, but beyond that, finish your Executor, and then make sure that you go and do your Beskar Mandalorian and your Cad Bane. Looks like your mods are improving overall. Hey, Burrito. Remove this mod. Remove this mod. Make this a speed mod, offense, health, any of those 3. Whenever Savage is critically hit, he dispels all debuffs on himself. So you're making it so he can't dispel debuffs on himself by giving him crit avoidance. Yeah, like, the whole point of his kit is to be critically hit. Let's see. I'm pretty sure there's another piece in here for it. Whenever Savage is critically hit, he gains 16% health steal and offense, stacking to 160%. Like, yeah, you're losing out on big pieces of his kit by trying to prevent critical hits. But yeah. Not much to tell you besides fix that. And, you know, keep working on what you're working on. Don't try to push into like other farms super hard in general. Try to focus things down, but also try to expand outwards on the things that you're building. You know, after you finish your Executor, I want you to finish out your Imperial Trooper team, meaning you get a Gear 12 Veers and a Relic 5 Dark Trooper. You know, make sure that you're taking advantage of the farms that you have. Your Bounty Hunter team that you're building out of your Executor. Make sure you get yourself the Grief Karga and the Mando Relic, especially because you've already put the Chirotex into Mando. And then literally just an unlocked Arasing. You don't even need a Relic Arasing. You could throw a regular just doo-doo Arasing in here and a doo-doo Zam Wessel if you wanted to. Make a great team. Even so, you still have a solid team here. Just the fast contract makes it so worth it. With an Arasing, I used to use like a 4-star Gear 10 Arasing just for the lead. It doesn't even require Zetas. Anyone you could move the mod to, just lock the mod. I like, you can throw it on anyone you want to, really. It's not necessarily a bad mod, but more than anything, it's a great mod for events, because there's a lot of events that could use crit avoidance. For instance, like the JML event, crit avoidance health triangle on Jedi Knight Luke is helpful. You'll probably never do the cam mission, but for the cam mission, crit avoidance triangles are good. There's a lot of events where a crit avoidance triangle does help, but it's not necessarily something that I usually put on just regular characters. You know, you can throw it on like a tank or something to make them survive a bit better. Yeah, no, it's an arrow, yeah. You just can't beat speed on arrows, typically. Jolie or Trail like crit avoidance. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Alex. You entered the 2%. Heck yeah. Can't relic yet, but better than nothing. Heck yeah, dude. Oh, his Darth Revan's 331. So he could throw it on him, but he'd have to move 2 mods around, so it might drop even more. How you doing, Eskimo? But yeah, for Lightspeed bundle, I mean, there's a huge loss on investment, Bob and the Duck, for Darth Revan. Like, you're never gonna be faster than Imperial Troopers, essentially, and then once you get Malgus, it doesn't really matter as long as he's like between 300 and 330 speed. If you get him up to 350, you're just utilizing mods that should go on a GL on a character that's, you know, good, but not the most important character in the game. Yeah, that's exactly my point, Burrito. Haha, Grax, I was prepared for you. Okay. Sup to you as well, Storm. Okay, next up we have Estefano. Darth Revan with 350 plus speed plus Darth Talon. Good luck outspeeding with troopers. I mean, you're already breaking up your You're breaking up your... Give me a sec, I'll get there. You're breaking up your leadership ability and reducing your damage. So in trying to cut out troopers, you're making other counters easier against it because you're losing out on 50% crit damage. Hey, Caracol, coming in with the raid. Thank you, my friend. Me raid. Talon belongs at DR, can't tell me otherwise. On offense, yes, it is great to use as a niche case thing, swap in and out of the team. But on defense, you're just making the team less powerful. You're making Darth Revan faster, great, but you're making the team less powerful. Gosh, Grax. Yep, you are correct. Using Talon anywhere but Treya is honestly harming Treya a lot. Yeah, if it's Malgus comp, Talon does do great on that team. It gives you a savior, as well as there's nothing in the kit to specifically be averse to Talon. And not only are you losing out on 50% crit damage, but you're also, none of Darth Revan's lead actually affects, like none of his kit affects Talon at all. So Talon doesn't get any benefits. Well, under Malgus, she gets most of the benefit. Basically, you're losing out on a little bit on Malgus, but it more than makes up for it in what Talon gives out. So I do see people putting Talon with Malgus, and I do understand it. And honestly, it was the most common lineup for Malgus originally, and then people started to figure out that even with that lineup, you could still kill it with gas. And so more and more often, it's dropped out of the meta. Especially because if you throw assassin on that team, it does stop. Yeah. Callan, welcome to the Beaver Dam, my friend. Okay. You also get a small drop in max health, if I recall. I want to say he gets like a 10% increase to max health and max protection for each Sith Empire and each Sith ally. And so since she's not both, it drops it by like 10%, but it makes up for it. Jedi Dooku. Okay, I don't know why people aren't talking about this. I need to make a video about it. Like, I feel like a lot of us skipped over the fact that they said that there's going to be, like, call-outs to, what was it? It was call-outs to something. But, like, it very, very much insinuated, like, light side Grand Inquisitors coming this next, era. And I was like... Yeah, it was like, you know, oh yeah, with Grand Inquisitor being part of the Temple Guard, are we going to see a character with callouts to that or something? And they're like, it's not going to be this character, but it's going to be there. Yeah, Temple Guard GI is most likely going to be a character in this next era. I need to go find the post, and it's in the Q&A for what's her bucket? Jocasta, no. Yeah. Hey, old man, good to see you, my friend. Estefano, finishing Leviathan Rex and ships, and then into Ray. Okay, so you're going into Ray. Okay, I'm not seeing, like, instantly a whole lot you're sleeping on at the bottom of your roster, which is good. Okay, now I am seeing the things you're sleeping on. It's conquest units. I was like, there's not a lot here that's like, oh my gosh, this needs to be relic right now. But Yeah. Ezra Bridger Exile. Do you have you do have a JML. Which also means you have a Luthen team ready to go. Where's Malgus? I don't know. Probably coming soon to a theater near you. He's right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah. You're close to Rey, you're close to Leviathan. Both are going to be superpowers in your roster. After that, you're going to work on Ben and Hermit Ezra and Luthen, and I want to see all three of those teams up. Because, like, Hermit Ezra instantly elevates your Jedi Master Luke team, your Rey team, literally anywhere you want to put him, he's going to lift it up. He's an amazing character. You can use him on offense or defense. You can use him with Jedi Knight Revan and Jedi Knight Luke to get full banners on Jabba in 3v3 and 5v5. Amazing character. And so I would say before moving on to another big project after Rey, I want to see those up. In fact, I'd want to see them after Leviathan, but I can understand waiting because, you know, then you can have the chance to get Ben for your Rey and then get Hermit Ezra, and then Luthen can be last because then you also can build Pow and Hoth Rebel Scout along with him and build out the full team. But these three are powerhouses in your roster. This is a GL killer, this is a GL killer or a GL lifter, and this is a GL lifter. And so all three of those being in your roster definitely need to go up. So Luthen or Ezra, give it to Ezra. If you're gonna go Luthen, like, Luthen's great. Don't get me wrong, Luthen is amazing. But in the current scope of what you're gonna see in GAC, Leia can be taken out by him with his full team, but you need to build his full team. Rey used to be able to be taken out by him with just Luthen and then like Cara Dune, Kyle Katarn, and just some random characters. But with Hermit Ezra becoming more and more of a thing on the Rey team for most people, it's becoming less stable. If you have the full team, you can take down Rey with Hermit Ezra in 5v5 and 3v3. You have no chance, of course. But in 5v5, you can take it out if you have the full team, but without the full team, you're going to struggle desperately. So, honestly, if you're going to choose one of them to put Kairos into now, Hermit Ezra. You can use it on offense through Jedi Master Luke to beat most GLs. You can use it with Jedi Knight Revan, beat Jabba. There's plenty of uses for Hermit Ezra, and then as soon as you get Rey done, you can throw Hermit Ezra on there while you're waiting to get your Ben up. So I think that Hermit Ezra is the one to put it in if you're gonna take some time and put some in somewhere. You can use Ezra Lord Vader as well. He's too good. I don't know if there's actually any reason to do that though. You'll probably go against this, but after all the things you mentioned, I was thinking Lord Vader before Leia. Like you're technically close. How long would it take to get Luthen from 125 shards right now? I mean, you have to wait for Proving Grounds to come around, and then that's what, 5-10 months? About 10 months. In 3v3, you stop Bo-Katan Mandalore with Ezra with Lord Vader. I don't know. That sounds like a lot, considering, you know, Rey is such a powerhouse with Ezra. I think so, Darthcliff. Yeah, so that's why I said 10 months, is because I'm assuming you're gonna get 5 shards at least, so that'll be, you know, 10 months instead of 11, because you need 330, not, you know, 325. So that normally would add an extra month, but you're buying up shards, and so unless you can buy another 25 shards before Proving Grounds and all that, you're not gonna increase, like, you decrease your time taken to do it by, you know, a full month. So Estefano, you certainly can. You have the Maul. It hurts that you have a Maul relicked up, but you haven't finished your Canderous. Like, that is one of my favorite teams in this game. But yeah, it's up to you, dude. I don't know. I don't like the fact that I'm breaking up my Maul team just to make a semi-good Galactic Legend that has a 100% win rate counter and like a 80% win rate counter that doesn't require, you know, something as hefty as Bo-Katan. Roll your mods are looking good. I just, unless they add a lifter for Lord Vader, I don't see a point. I think that Leia's the best PvP GL in the game. And so going for Lord Vader instead, even though he's closer, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. It's going to be a huge expenditure of Zetas for a subpar character. I think he can do JML. He for sure does Lord Vader. Then he does, you know, Rey and Leia. So. But Lord Vader's the best GL. Stop the cap, Beaver. Okay, quick look at your ships and then we're done here. Looking good. Like seeing the Empire fleet done. Beautiful. 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 I'm really not worried about your roster, Estefano. Besides warning you away from going for Lord Vader, I'm not worried about your roster. You're doing great with mods. You're doing great with ships. Like I didn't even go through all your ships, but like you're working through all of your fleets. They all look like they're being maintained. There's a couple characters I'd like to see a little higher relic levels on, like, you know, Finn being at relic 3, and, you know, Jedi Knight Revan at 3, and who was the other one I saw that was at 3? Oh, Treya is also at 3. You know, a couple characters that are like they're key characters in their team. They need at least 5, if not 7, just to keep them alive. If Treya dies, your whole team falls apart. So, but overall, you're looking great, my dude. What are the best counters to JMK Cat? Bo-Katan does it. You can tactically two-shot it with Aura Singh Zam Bounty Hunters. With gas. You can take it out with Great Mothers fairly easily. What other counters are there out there? I usually use Sith Eternal personally. That's been my go-to counter for a long time. If there's no Padme, you can kill it with Maul. You might still be able to kill it with Maul against Padme if you have all Relic 5 and the crit damaged offense up Datacron. But I'm trying to think of any other counters to it right now that aren't Datacron dependent. I swear there's like 3 more teams that I'm not thinking of. SLKR with Darkside Ray can do it, but that's all, you know, you have to have a GL and a Conquest unit. No, Max, you do not have to pay for a roster review. There is a line, and if you pay, you jump the line. Speaking of, I think we completely neglected Commander Lex, and I apologize for that. Commander Lex, are you here? We kind of just bounced around a ton. Let's see. Where, Commander Lex, have you didn't put your stuff anywhere though. Where is your stuff? There it is. Okay. Way down in the list. That's why I wasn't seeing it. Glat plus Spectre. Even that is actually not the greatest counter, Diana. I actually have not enjoyed doing JMK battles with Glat, just because Glat just ends up, it takes forever. It's like a 4-minute battle. I don't enjoy that battle at all. Charmask. Give me a sec, Terra, and we'll do the Jar Jar mask. That Discord link's invalid? Why did it change? I swear, I have to change that every couple of months for some reason. Even though I set the server invite to being, you know, forever. I don't understand why Discord's so finicky with this. Hey, Buko Tuko. Welcome, welcome, my friend. Yeah, Balin, Riva, GI. You're going to want some Zetas for sure. And the Riva GI and maybe some Omicrons, but yeah, it works. Okay. Commander Lex, let's see what you said. Oh my gosh, where? There we go. Got a roster review recently where you advised after Leviathan to finish gas, then do Luthen, then clean up some teams. I was wondering what order of operations should do my farms now with me getting Profundity and Bad Batch light spindles if it changes the order of the farms. I mean, if you have Bad Batch, obviously get yourself a Marauder if you don't already have one. Yeah, like make sure you're, I would double farm Marauder now that you have the Bad Batch relic up. And Profundity should be high up on your list, of course, just because it's, you know, really close to you. Let's see. I would say Relic 7 your Dr. Aphra and Relic your Luthen, and then do Profundity and make sure you're double farming your Marauder, and then do your full cleanup that we talked about. Unless you're struggling with Jabba a lot, then also do your Marin. But I mean, to be fair, Dr. Aphra should fulfill that if you work on her. So, but yeah, you already have a Luthen with a Zeta invested, and Luthen is basically, you know, not only a GL killer, but he only requires one Zeta. So I'd want to say do those and just make sure you get some GL killer teams into your roster. But I do think Profundity should be moved up. I think you're right there. Yeah, I think your Profundity Lightspeed bundle makes it so it should be moved up closer, especially if you have all the ships. Move it up closer. I do think your Bad Batch makes it so that way you should add in Marauder as a double farm. Do I think you should work on your Bad Batch and get them up to like all their Zetas? I don't think so. Do I think that you should go for Lord Vader? Absolutely not. I do think you can push out your cleanup a bit just to get the Profundity, because having 3 GL ships is going to be hugely impactful in a roster. I would like to see either Marin or Dr. Aphra up and get yourself a good Jabba counter. Luthen, I'm going to say kind of up to you, but it should happen sooner rather than later. I know, right, Appley? I'm not going to be on super long. I have something I got to do before our other stream. And so I won't be on super long. I'm basically just waiting to hear back from someone, and then I'm gonna be getting off. So Discord's the best way to do it, General Blitz. We only do the people in chat at the very end if we have time, which we very rarely have time. But yeah, so your overall, I don't think the farming path's really gonna change too much. I still think you need a hardcore couple months to like fix some holes, get your Luthen team up and running, get your Zori relic, get your Marin done, that type of thing. I would probably say, because you have a Gear 13 Dr. Aphra, do the Dr. Aphra first, then go for Profundity, maybe the Luthen. I'll leave it up to you. But the Profundity should be sooner rather than later. It sounds like you'll probably miss this next Profundity round, but if you buckle down, you might be able to get to the month after. And so 2 months from now, you could have Leviathan, Profundity, and Executor, which is going to be transformative to any roster. So, did you set a date for the Damathon yet? No, I have not. How long of a damathon do you guys want? Like, what should our max be? That's kind of the question. $15 days. 7 days. You guys want to try and do a week-long damathon? Okay, let's use that. Do that tomorrow time. Sure. I fear for your health with marathons. I mean, the longest stream that we did was 37 hours. And that messed me up super badly. Buko Tuko, welcome to the Beaver Dam. Thank you for the follow, my friend. And so we started doing, if we do a week-long stream, it's not I stream for a week, it's I stream for, I start the stream for 6 hours, and then we have different goals and different incentives. Okay, no. And for each, dollar donated, for each membership we get, all that type of stuff, we increase the timer with a max of whatever the max might be. And so I'll stream for 16 hours a day, every day until we hit our max timer amount, or until we run out of time because, we run out of people following, subscribing, and doing that type of thing. And so the longest we've done for that, I think, is a 4-day stream where we streamed 16 hours a day for 4 days straight. So. Ouch, Alex. Alex literally came over YouTube just to flame Bobbin. Okay. Then I will ask for a week off of work. Isn't it great that the only time I take off from work at this point is just to do damathons? That's it. Like, I haven't taken like a days off to go for like a vacation or anything, and literally since I started this channel. Every time I've used my like paid time off and stuff like that, it's always just to do a damathon. The 4-day marathon is how I discovered you, but still be careful. Yeah, no, I don't take it too far, and like, I'm not like killing myself, because each day it does get harder to wake up. It is exhausting to do something like that. And so like it does get harder for each day that I do it. And so like you'll notice if you go back and watch them and like look at the time and everything like that, I do sleep like about 30 minutes to an hour more each day, because I get continually more exhausted the longer it goes on. So, Damathon equals vacations. Damathons are vacations. What do you mean? Speaking of, we should do a Damathon-esque thing, but I stream on the go and we go to Disneyland. I wonder if I'll get in trouble if I stream at Disneyland. Because I have not been to Disney since, let's see, Disneyland, last time I went, I want to say I was like 9. And the last time I went to Disney World was right after Star Wars was acquired by Disney. So it was like 2015. And so none of the Star Wars stuff had been built besides like the stuff that had already been there. So the AT-AT and like the speeder bike. And so I've never been to Galaxy's Edge. I've never been to all the Star Wars stuff. And so it's something on my bucket list, and I just have not gotten around to it. So sorry, spending time with me is so exhausting. I mean, dude, you try and be an entertaining and vibrant person for 16 hours a day every single day. It's rough. Like, you have a social battery, right? It's the same kind of thing. You're basically utilizing your social battery for 16 hours a day, because I'm talking to you guys. I'm interacting with you guys. It's not quite the same as talking to other people, as for sure. If I didn't have relationships outside of streaming, I'd probably go crazy. as much as I love you guys, it does not make for actual human contact looking at this camera, but it is like it is using your social battery essentially, and so yeah, it is very tiring. Check your Discord schedule. Why? Bozo Baggins, I use him at Relic 5 to solo teams on my free-to-play account constantly. He's amazing without Treya. He solos basically any low-tier team. He beats CLS. You can throw him with like Darth Revan and take out Gas. Like, he's great. When and what's going to be the next stream? I posted a stream schedule, AJ. I know, I do need to do Rise of the Resistance Havoc. I'm so excited to do that. Disney allows streaming, not some rides, though. Sounds good. We've done Commander Lex. Yeah, I saw that now, Alex. Never been to any major theme parks, nor will it ever happen for me. Don't say that, Diana. I mean, it's all just a matter of, you know, are you willing to sacrifice to go? Is it something that you're interested in? It's always nice to at least go to an amusement park. You know, theme parks, they're usually more expensive, and they're definitely one of those things that's like once and forever. Like, I genuinely haven't had a vacation since I was 17. And like, you know, I would love to go on a vacation because I haven't been on a vacation since I was 17. And I am how old now? It's been 10 years. Oh gosh. Vince O, the best way to get a roster review is through the Discord. If you want to jump the line, of course, you can donate $5, but that is up to you, my friend. You should go to Disney tomorrow and I'll give you monies to get a Death Star popcorn. I need to go look at prices and see how much it is, because I'm sure it's going to be super, super expensive. It'll be nice that I can write off part of it on my taxes because I do a YouTube channel, and so I could, you know, bring you guys along with me and we could have a damn good time. But that doesn't mean I get the money back or anything. It just means I don't have to pay taxes on the money that I got from YouTube, essentially, because I paid it on something that's business. And even then, I'd only be able to mark off part of the trip that way. So damn, you're ancient. Ouch. Dude, I'm 27. That's not old. I still wanted to do Rise of the Resistance twice. Ate up like 3 hours or something. Broke, I think so. It got accepted. It was actually different twice. Yeah, it has different aspects. So back when I went to Disney World, Star Tours did the same thing, where they have different things that you go through. And the day that we did the place that had Star Tours, like it was like 70 degrees and raining. And it was like drizzling. It wasn't like heavy rain. It was like drizzling, and it would like start for like 5 minutes and then it would stop. And so we're all from Alaska and we're on a school trip. And so we don't care, but there's no one at the park because it's too cold. And so we're like, this is perfect. But everyone that went like was just like, yeah, no, we're not going today. And so the park was essentially empty. And so I went on Star Tours like 14 times in a row. I went on Splash Mountain that day, I think 7 times in a row. Like taking 0 time because there's just no lines. No one was there. It was fantastic. You're 27 and calling me old. I mean, Zai, I just watched a video on a finance YouTuber that I enjoy, talking to a couple who goes to Disneyland like, it was like 9 times a year, and they just put it all on credit cards and continually go further and further in debt just to go to Disneyland. And I'm like, you guys are insane. Why are you doing this? Just hitting your athletic prime. Yeah, yeah. If you see my body, 100% athletic prime. What was it like before cars were invented? Oh, are you talking about like way back, like before or after my dinosaur died? I'm not sure when you're referring to, Big Texas. Sounds good, Caracol. Your senior citizen can't afford it. I mean, that's fair. That makes it fairly hard because, you know, usually when you're retired, you're in that area of like kind of a set income kind of stuff. You're all old grandpas. Yeah, Caleb Hammer. Yeah, I watch Caleb Hammer quite a bit, or I used to. I don't watch him nearly as much now, um, but I used to watch a ton of Caleb Hammer. Disneyland, you're on the wrong coast. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Disney World. So I during high school, my my band teacher grew up in Florida and put himself through college there as a piano man. So he'd go to a bar and sing, and that's how he put himself through college. And because of his time as a piano man and his time at college, he has a whole bunch of people that he knows over there in Florida, and so we got like a really cheap trip, so we didn't have to spend much as high school students, and we ended up going to Disney World and participating in a like a festival at Disney World. We went and performed at the Kennedy Space Center. We went on a 3-day cruise and performed on the cruise as well, which they just asked us. It wasn't even like planned that we were performing on the cruise. They were just like, hey, since you guys are here, you guys want to perform for people? And we're like, sure. And so they made a space for us on the on the stage and everything. You know, went to Universal, like huge trip. 2 weeks, best trip of my life. It was so much fun. That's wild, Bobo. We we went on one of those like airboat rides. We was, going over through like the swampland and stuff, and guy stops us, like he's like, driving us around and showing us cool stuff, and we're like, oh cool. And then he's like, look up there, and he points out an eagle flying overhead, and he's like, it's really rare that we see those around here. They're really cool, but this is the second highest state for sightings of eagles and the most eagles in the state. And we're like, cool. And he's like, you guys don't seem very excited. And I'm like, it's an eagle. And he's like, where are you kids from again? And we're like, Alaska. And he's like, oh, that's the #1 state where eagles are. I'm like, yeah. Like, I lived in a place called Eagle River where there was a tree that had at least 4 eagles on it at any given point. Like, it's a normal occurrence. Did I win my GAC? No, I lost. What is this, American? Thank you for the $5, Araxis. Would love to skip the line. Been trying to get a review, but I am in the EU, so stream times are a bit of unfortunate. Request to Discord tag Araxis. Okay, sounds good. We'll do you next, my friend. Oh, yes, we were going to do you next, Terra, but we're going to do Araxis just in case they got to get going because EU times. But we will be right back to you, Terra. Promise. Bro was practically raised by the American dream. The Eagles are native to Philadelphia. Your mid Overwatch 2 game? Gross. Who plays Overwatch 2 still? Everyone swapped over to Marvel Rivals, bro. Working on Java and JKCK for the guild. Okay. I think Java's great. You have your first GL, so going for Java next is going to be great. I am a little worried that your Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's only Relics 5, not 7, because you're missing out on a full 20% max health and protection that you're putting into this character, as well as just solid damage. Star Killer's at Relic 2 instead of 5. definitely should get that up. So oh, someone's raiding. Bones is coming in with a party of 13. Welcome, welcome everyone. Where's our sound effect? Hold on. Oh, it's broken. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure it out. Why is it broken? Why did Windows 11 break everything in my setup?
Hondo Onaka, welcoming you to the Beaver Dam.
It's the right sound effect, but it seems really quiet. Yeah, it's really quiet. I don't know why, but Hondo welcomes you guys to the Beaver Dam. No, it is not AI. Jim Cummings was at a convention that I went to and agreed to say that. I showed him the channel and showed his wife the channel, and I was like, yeah, you know, this is my channel, and it'd be fun to have this as just a little thing that I can do for people. And so yeah, he recorded that for me. So that is actually the voice actor for Hondo Inaka. Goodness gracious. I don't know what's happening with my sound today, but it's driving me nuts. Okay. Nice, Bones. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So honestly, I feel like you're stretching yourself a little too much right now, my friend. I think you're right on Jabba. I think Jabba should be your next GL. But I feel like you're kind of stretching out into a lot of different places right now. What is your go to Bounty Hunter? Yeah, so you have the Lightspeed bundle, so Jabba's obviously the next step. Okay, so before you keep going on your Jabba farm, before you keep going on your JKCK farm, I want you to finish Supreme Leader Kylo Ren to Relic 7, and I want to see Star Killer at Relic 5. After that, 100% go for Jabba. I wouldn't work on this team for now. You've already put some Zetas in it, it's true, but you need basically all the Zetas to make this work. You do have the 2 uniques, and so if you have a PP to get General Skywalker up, if it's a passion project to you, sure, get General Skywalker up, throw some offense mods instead of the typical mods that he's supposed to have on Swago.gg. Give him like heavy duty offense mods, not protection, and throw him into a Jedi lineup and call it good. If you want a place to use them for now. But like, I feel like there's a little bit of like, oh, let's go over here, that type of thing going on here. Finish your SLKR, finish your Star Killer, then go for Jabba. JKCK, you're a little early for it, but you can do it. It means that I want you to move JML up into your list a little bit faster than I normally would suggest for an account like this. But after JKCK, you cannot let your guild push you into another farm because you have so much to finish. You have a Ray that's close. You have a JML that's close. You have all this stuff is super, super close. And so you really need to focus down on your roster and get it in under wraps, because currently your roster is a whole bunch of characters that are like solid, but you need them to build into their overall major farms. So like you have a Jedi Knight Revan sitting down here that you can throw to Jedi Knight Luke and your JKCK and have an excellent team. That's an excellent team. But instead, you know, you're working on JKCK first, and you're working on, you know, Jabba, and so like this is getting left by the wayside. You know, you're bam, it's Relic 2 with no mods when you have an Executor. Like, I feel like things are getting left behind because you're trying to push out, you know, the Jabba and then into this guild farm. So just be careful overall. Like, you know, this is very much a Lightspeed bundle account. Your mods are looking iffy. but you need to focus on your own roster. You can't let a guild bully you. If they start pushing for something after JKSDK immediately, you're going to have to go find another guild. And there's plenty of guilds out there that will take you as soon as you're JKSDK ready. You can go to a guild and just be like, hey, I'm JKSDK ready. And you can get into a good guild even though you're fairly low right now. So, yeah, make sure you're focusing on your mods. Java will help with that, but if you don't know how to mod, it's going to become problematic because you need to be able to mod well. So go check out Rabid Beaver Mods. You just type in Rabid Beaver Mods into YouTube. It'll pop up with a mod farming video. It'll show you how to mod farm, as well as, you know, how to not take a mod too far, that type of thing. Overall, this account has a ton of potential, but a lot of it comes down to your investment into it. And so try not to let your guild bully you. There's plenty of guilds out there that can help you out. The account looks good for now. Got a couple things to finish. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren or LX7. Bam, get some mods on him for your, just get your pilots for your executor mods in general. You know, and flesh out this roster. That's really the problem that I'm worried about. Seeing high GP roster. I mean, we've never had something like actually data mined with assets and stuff, and then it doesn't show up in game. So I don't know if it'll actually not show up in game, Lord Zenith. Yeah, he was a little worried about it when I first like talked about it, and then I showed him the channel and talked about it, the channel and stuff, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm fine with doing that." So he seems like a really chill dude. But yeah, overall, as I said, tons of potential Araxis, but you could end up just, you know, kind of screwing yourself over by listening to what guilds say, because guilds are for the guild. There's a lot of people that are like, you know, we're only going to let you in if you do these things. And it's like, well, I just started and just have a bunch of Lightspeed bundles and I haven't finished any of my farm. So you got to push the brakes a bit, work one thing at a time, finish your Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, get him into Relic 7, finish your Star Killer, finish your Jabba, get yourself, you know, a solid basis of a roster, you know, get yourself a Rey, it's really close, get yourself a JML, that'll give you a good spot for your JKSDK, give you a good reason to get your Jedi Knight Revan up. Like you have a whole bunch of connecting farms, and you should be focusing on those connecting farms versus going for new farms like a JKSDK, a Mando Ready, you know, the Reva Ready Inquisitors. Like, you need to focus down your roster. So just I'm worried about you getting bullied by your guild. Make sure you don't. Better show up. My whole guild will mysteriously end up having one. I told you guys what my plan is, so I am fully intending to do that ASAP. If it shows up, we are going to make a meme video. Guilds can be selfish in their own right. Competitive guilds can be so competitive that it becomes toxic. Those kind of guilds are more for 11 mil plus accounts. You are correct, but they'll often, because they're having so much trouble finding new people, that they'll just grab these lower tier people who are willing to promise them the sun, and then those players just get screwed because they spend their entire time just trying to farm for their guild. And so it can be very detrimental because it's becoming more and more of a thing, because a lot of the older accounts are getting retired. You know, there's people that are getting sick of this game and stopping playing. And so, you know, it becomes hard. Yep. Zepho and Mandalore Ready is one of the biggest keys to making, you know, Gear 13 characters the easiest thing in the world, honestly. No Rex for what you want to do. They just ask for petition and able. Also only farming Reba, all three of them. Okay. Well, I haven't seen you in chat, Araxis, say anything, so hopefully that helps. If you need more help, come back. take a look at your ships. Yeah, and you're not maintaining your ships. So yeah, don't start new farms before maintaining your current farms and fixing up your current stuff. Like this first order needs an echelon and the special forces done. You need your BTLB Y-wing done, otherwise all of these ships are just kind of sitting here doing nothing. You need a you need the what's it called? The bomber and the comeuppance to make this work. You need to finish 7-starring your ships and get your hyena bomber. Like, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't push into new content. I think making sure, So you've done a fairly good job of the beginning of the acronym SABRE. You look at solos and side projects, then accessible teams, then big projects. That's kind of the first 3 things that you do. Then you expand outwards, and then you review. Make sure you didn't miss anything, and then move on to your next farm. So solos and side projects. You know, you have the Vader at Relic 7. This looks like it has a. You don't have the Merciless Massacre Zeta. Oh my gosh, and there's no mods on this character. So there's one solo character that's not actually done. Did you buy the Hoth bundle? Is there a Wampa in here somewhere? If I can spell it. Yeah, so you got the Wampa and it's fully invested. Like, you did a pretty good job of taking a look at your solos and making sure your solos are looking semi-decent. Side projects, though, is your ships. Your ships need to be worked on because this takes 6 months to finish. And so until you can finish this fleet, this is not a done fleet. This fleet doesn't work unless you have a good tank. So, you know, side projects is something that you need to be working on. Those ships that are just being farmed in the background. And then, you know, the big projects that you are working on right now are the things that are accessible to you. They're the things that you already have the stuff to do. So you're going to focus down Jabba right now, then you're going to focus down Rey, then you're going to focus down JML. You can also swap those around if you want to do JML first. It does give you a better home for JK's TK. But yeah, do not expand outwards going for new projects yet. You really need to just focus on getting what you currently have in your roster done. That's the big part. So check fleet. I mean, we can check mods, but I can already tell you the mods on this account are pretty iffy just from looking at some of the characters in here. You got a couple characters with good speed, but the majority of characters are poorly modded. You want over 300 speed with Mara Jade. Han Solo has some wacky mods on him right now. He's in like a good speed area. He's nearing that 300 speed area that you want Han Solo at, where you want him at like high 200s, but he has just some wacky mods. Rey Scavengers up here, which, yeah. We're on free reviews. Top of the list as always. I delete whoever we finish. So we're always at the top of the list. So yeah, mods need some work on, and Jabba will help with that, but you also need to know how mods work, so go watch that mod farming video. Make sure you're working on your fleets, and your next projects are just essentially fixing up your roster and getting it ready to move on to new farms. Right now, you just need to take care of the stuff you have. Like, if you were to say Sith Eternal, I'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't put Sith Eternal on your list because, yeah, you might be close, but he's not going to be great. But Rey, amazing defensive GL even before you get Ben or Hezra. You know, Jabba, amazing GL, one of the best GLs. I would say the best GL in the game for value-wise. You know, great on offense, great on defense, gives you mods. Just fantastic. And then, you know, you have JML. JML has a whole bunch of requirements that are going to be nice. You're going to be able to build out multiple Jedi teams. He's great for Conquest. He's great for Proving Grounds. He's going to be able to let you get Malgus shards and that kind of stuff from Proving Grounds, but probably going to be a struggle for an account like this. So, how much is a review? It is $5 US or whatever the equivalent is in your currency. It takes over enemy ships. The fear doesn't work. I mean, like the fear on the basic? Is that what you're saying, Alex RG? Yeah, no problem, Araxis. Okay, this next account is terrible. Good. Their name is Terra. Terrible. The fear on the ult ability. I honestly don't remember. Do you really want Leviathan to be even more overpowered? Okay, Terra, going for Jabba currently, then I'm on the edge between taking a break and getting a ton of teams up to rote viable or go for Leia. Jabba, excellent idea. Love to see it. You have 2 GL fleets. Love that. I would love to see a Leviathan in your account. You're kind of ready to go for Leviathan. It's just where you put it now. So if you work on like Leia and JMK and then come back to Leviathan, great. Leviathan should be sooner rather than later. So you say rote viable teams. What are you specifically talking about? Because the only thing you should be building for, rote wise, first thing is always Mommy Mandalore and Zepho ready. It's building for special missions. You can if you want to, but I mean, unless your full guild's pushing for them, they're not really the most helpful thing. I'd much rather see you get like your Malicos team done. Like you already have the Seer done for Zepho ready. Like get the Malicos team done. You have a Ben Solo in your roster. Like I would say take a couple month break. 100%. You have stuff in your roster that desperately needs to be in your roster. PHX coming in with the 50 SEK. Oh, I remember this. Hold on. SDK. That's something Norwegian or Scandinavian, right? Something like that. It's something like in that area of the world. Swedish. That sounds Scandinavian to me. Maybe I'm being nationalist? I don't know. Xenophobic. That makes sense. I don't know what that word means, old man. Welcome, Mr. Sanctus, to the Beaver Dam. I also missed Ariel Chairman. Welcome to the Beaver Dam. Okay. You're being American? I'm being Alaskan, bro. In Alaska, you don't only learn like any geography. I barely know anything in the U.S. I didn't know Oregon was the next door state to where I was going to college until like 2 years into college. Like it's that bad. Yes, absolutely, PHX. But yeah, overall, 3-month break. Finish some farms, 100% agree. Like, you've got an overinvested, underinvested Asajj Ventress. Your Night Sisters are looking like they're all, like, ready to bring up. You have multiple Conquest characters that could boost your roster. You don't have a Relic Dark Trooper. You have a Zori sitting down here still. You have a lot that you could take up that's going to be really, really nice, especially that Malicos. You already have the Fulcrum at 7 stars, I'm guessing, from that one event where they gave away a 7-star Fulcrum. So you're ready to go on an unaligned Force user team. Yeah, take a 3-month break, Terra. I had to memorize the 50 states in a letter order. At one point, I had the states memorized when I was like in 3rd grade, and then I never looked at a map again for the rest of my time in school. Okay, unfortunately, I think PHX is going to be the last one because I do got to get going and get to the stuff that I need to do today. Because we still have another stream in 3 hours for GAC, so. Yeah, it was like 3rd or 4th grade, yeah. I want to say... Ooh, was it earlier? My brain is saying 1st grade, but I think I'm getting my memories mixed up. think it was first grade. I think it was fourth grade. We didn't have an AP school, Appley. We had an IB school, which is more internationally recognized. My friend had to leave early, so I had to almost eat 2 pounds of oven-baked pork, belly, some taters, and parsley sauce solo. I had to. There was no other option. Okay, bet, Lord Zenith. We'll give myself 5 minutes. Only Dash left for Profanity, only Annie for Thrawn, and Thrawn for C. Ooh, C. C's such a bad GL. You have to get C done. C's pretty garbage by himself. You have to have Wat Tambor, and then after Wat Tambor, if you want a full team, then you're gonna have to build out like the most random characters from all kinds of factions. It's C is so... He needs a lifter as well. Don't really know what I want to do. I have Ben, Darkside Ray, DTMG, Malicos. Darkside Ray needs to come up ASAP, and so does Ben. DTMG you can leave in your roster for as long as you need to. He's a solid team, but he's not like an S tier team, and he's not a GL killer team unless there's a really good Datacron around, and it's not good to build around Datacron. Malicos, on the other hand, kills a lot of GLs, and so if you have time, I would like you to go for that if you're already Zepho ready. If you aren't Zepho ready, honestly, the big thing that I'm seeing in this roster, we'll take a quick look at your ships and that type of thing, but like, you don't have any value. I would like to see this fleet finished eventually, but your big problem is you don't have any value. You have excellent characters. You have a lot of GLs. You have some more coming in very soon. You have Profundity coming, so you're gonna have 2 GL ships. You're gonna have, you know, what is that, 5 GL, so you're doing solid there, but you need value. You need value, my friend. And you don't even have like a ton of stuff that I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to finish this farm. So let's see. Yep, nothing there. You have them, that's good. If you... Yep, and then... Yeah, so like... it looks like you're doing good on this account. The account looks solid, but like getting Zepho ready is going to help build a team for Malicos, of course, but getting Zepho ready is going to help you get into a good guild. Getting in Mandalore ready is going to help you get into a good guild. You're Zepho ready and you're Mandalore ready, you never have to worry about Chirotechs in your gaming existence again. Like if you look at what I have right now, let's go look at our Kairos right now. I have 715 of one and 645 of the other, and I just finished everything I needed for Leviathan. Before that, just for fun, because I had the extra Chirotechs laying around, I got my Qui-Gon and my Obi-Wan up to gear 12, just because I had the Chirotech, so I was like, might as well, while I'm kind of sitting around finishing up the last of my Leviathan Rex, gear 12 my Adrad before the bundle came around. Like, I was just gear 12ing random new characters with my Chirotechs, because I'm like, I just have too many Chirotechs, and these are characters that I know I'm going to be working on soon, and so I'm just going to get them up to gear 12. I had like a 4-week period where I relicked like 5 new characters and I didn't run out of Chirotechs. Like, if you can get that stuff, it helps so much. Getting into a good guild is just amazing. So JKCK Zepho ready is going to be super, super nice. Getting yourself, hi Mara, I know, I need to take you out. I'll take you out in just a moment. Getting yourself Mandalore ready, also going to be super helpful. You have the Queen's Men, so I'm not going to suggest the Imperial Remnant. I'd much rather see you build into these guild farms overall. I do think you have a little bit of stuff that you need to finish, you know, Relic Zori Bliss or Relic Marin, getting some status on your Night Sisters, that type of stuff. But a lot of that comes down to, you know, taking the time to, you know, get the status to be able to put them on these characters. But yeah. And like you're going after a whole bunch of big projects in a row, which makes it hard to get Zetas on anything. But the nice thing about, you know, going for JKSDK is like you need the Zetas on JKSDK and that's about it. There's no other Zetas in there, so that's 3 Zetas while you build up a whole bunch of characters for it. So it's a fairly low Zeta farm, but yeah. So not. If you start working on JKCK right now, you start working on the shards for it, then you could look for another guild and you could say, hey, I'm working on JKCK ready, and see if you can't find a guild. But once you get JKCK ready, 100% find a guild, especially if you're willing to go from JKCK into Mommy Mandalore, in which case you can go and find a guild that's Mommy Mandalore ready and say, hey, I'm working on Mommy Mandalore now, I'm Zepho ready, so coming to a theater near you soon, I will have Mommy Mandalore ready to go, and I shall be part of the 2%, I promised, and they will let you in because everyone loves being part of the 2%. So I can name 175 countries. I could probably name 100 countries. Would I be able to point them on the map? Nope. Yeah, exactly, PHX. You've definitely outgrown your current guild. So you do need to move on in guilds. I think that's something that's going to happen. Now, you may be attached, but honestly, it's going to be the best thing for your account. Where do I think you should squeeze in Leviathan? Whenever you feel like it. Let's see. That's the thing, is like whenever you feel like it, go for it, because fleet farms are already hard enough as it is. It's a hard farm to go for, but like Leviathan, I finally started going for it recently because I had all the ships done essentially, and so I just needed the characters and a couple ships that were in Cantina, which would be really easy to farm. So I just had the other ships needed for it in the background during my other farms, and so once I finally got the ships done, I kind of started going for it after my latest project. So it's a really good farm, but it can be really draining to go after a ship farm. So I'm gonna leave it up to you. I would say no later than after Leia. So like your next GL after Sith Eternal should be Leia. So you know, I would say do your Sith Eternal, do your Profundity, do your cleanup, and then either do Leviathan or do Leia and then Leviathan, one of the two. But if I want to be done with all the ships this year if I can, then like you can certainly do that sooner rather than later. If you are willing to do the ship farm now, then go for it. You know, finish your Profundity and then screw Sith Eternal. Go farm yourself your Leviathan. It's going to be the higher priority. It's going to be better for your account than a Sith Eternal ever will. So it's up to you. As I'm saying, like, put it where you want to put it. If you can afford to do it, if it's going to be, you know, not harmful to either your resources very harshly or to your own mental fortitude, go for it. I think Leviathan's going to be excellent in a roster like this. I do think the value needs to happen sooner rather than later, but Leviathan is going to get you more crystals. Leviathan is going to get you more wins in GAC, and honestly, overall, that's some of the best value that you could possibly get in this game. So put Leviathan where you want to. Okay. It is time. I'm going to put myself 5 minutes on the clock. I got to get going. but we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock, and I'm going to do every single roster inside the Discord. I'm not going to look at chat once, and we're going to go through and check everyone's rosters, and I am going to do your roster review in probably 10 seconds. Okay, I'm already, I have hope about your GLs. Okay, your GLs look good. Your Hezra looks good. Not a bad mod fall off. You know who should have speed. First order officer needs to be faster than Hux. So you switch that around. Giant Knight Revan needs to be over 300 speed. Otherwise you're looking good, dude. Your mods are looking very solid. I'm very impressed. Overall roster looks good. Okay. Okay. We have up next. Does a bear poop on the girlfriend's floor? Is that what their name is? I don't know. No, I just haven't reset it yet. Hold on. Okay. You guys ready? Finish up fraternity requirements, then probably saving up for Bane next Proving Grounds. If you can get Bane next Proving Grounds, instantly go for it. After that, not sure. Okay, you're at that same point that we just talked to the last person. You don't have a lot to clean up. Like, you could make a Sith Empire team and that type of stuff. Unless you have Malgus, it's not super vitally important. You say you want to go Reva ready. That's only if your guild's pushing for it. That's only if your guild's pushing for it, or you're trying to push into another guild. Honestly, if you're trying to push into another guild, I'd do Zepho ready, Mando ready, instead of trying to go Reva ready, and then just passively get Reva through your guild and then do it, because most guilds are past that nowadays. There's a lot of guilds that are kind of done because of the light speed bundles. Overall, account looks good. Value is what you should be focusing on versus new farms. I would suggest, you know, maybe getting a Leviathan sooner rather than later, but once again, it's putting it where you want. But overall, value 100% is what I would go for, and so getting into a good guild is going to be one of the best things you can do. Mommy Mando, Zepho ready, that type of thing. Would I say next GL? Not really. Next GL can be Leia, and then JMK. Those would be the next two for an account like this. Okay, going into the next one, we have Lord Zenith, Leviathan, and Profani into JMK. Okay, let's see. One of the biggest problems that usually happens with an account like this, where they're saying they're doing those two in a row, means that they're doing stuff like not Relic 7ing your Afra. You know, you're kind of sleeping on some farms. Doesn't look like you have many characters that you haven't leveled up to some degree. I am a little worried about relic levels just after seeing that Afra, but overall the account's looking solid. I don't really have much to tell you besides just keep going. You're doing good stuff. Just make sure you're taking the time to expand outwards after farms, and you're not making any of your farms absolute doo-doo garbage by not investing in them. And please finish your Separatist and your Galactic Republic fleets. They harm my soul with an account that's this flushed out, seeing something like that. Okay, next up we got It covered up. It's like Lucarian or something like that. Close to Jabba, then going for JML and Leia after that. JML, Leia, okay, that's, I mean, it's a solid start, but like, I'm instantly worried about your account. Okay. I wasn't seeing them in the top just because they, okay, there he is. I completely skipped over him and just saw Starkiller for some reason. Instantly worried. Okay, so you said that you're going for Jabba, which is solid. JML, Leia. Did you get the... You didn't. Okay, staying in the Rebel Trinity, solid. Love to hear it. Make sure you get a profundity in there somewhere. Jabba should be your next farm. Before you finish your Jabba, I would like to see Savage Relict up. Just because that's a solo character that you're sleeping on. After you get your Jabba, I want to see the Jedi Knight Revan done, because that'll give you a good Jedi Knight Luke team until you can get to your JML. And besides, you have JML on your list, which is going to give you that. Besides that, I mean, it's looking pretty solid. You have some characters to clean up, but overall, I like your farming path. I'm worried about your fleets just a hair, but I'm going to assume they're good because we need to move on to the next one. So make sure you're farming your tanks if you haven't already. If I come back to your roster at some point and you don't have tanks, I'm going to be very upset. Food from Pony, getting Jar Jar the next time he shows up. JMK is 3 characters away, about to go for JKCK for the guild. Honestly, you're kind of at that spot where you have a lot of stuff, so I'm not super worried about you doing big farms for your guild like this over and over again. I mean, honestly, yeah, I think you're just like a little behind on the value farms. That's what I'm looking at here. You focus way too much on your characters. Like your First Order fleet's not done. Your Empire fleet's not done. Your Galactic Republic fleet's not done. Your fleets aren't worked on. You focused on characters and not fleets. You need to focus down your fleets and your value pieces. You know, assault battle characters and getting yourself, you know, the stuff that you need for, like, you know, guild stuff. So I think you're in the right idea of doing guild stuff, but fleets is scary right now for your account. Okay, next up we got Tyler, and we got like 5 seconds to do it. So Tyler Cox, free to play secondary account, want to go away. JKR bundle finishing Phoenix. Should I put Malik or Executor? Thanks for any pointers. I mean, Revan Rush is still a viable thing to do. The problem is you don't get ships, so Executor is something that's going to take you a long time. Malik's not. So you can farm the ships that you need while you go for the Malik, continue your Revan Rush, and then circle back around to the Executor. So I don't think they're mutually exclusive where you can do one or the other. 100% just go for the Bounty Hunter ships, and while you're doing that, you know, go and get yourself a Darth Revan and, up and Relic, and get your Jedi Knight Revan up and Relic, and get your Malik done. You know, those teams are fantastic at low levels like this. Love the fact that you have a Savage, and I hope this Traya comes up as well. But, you know, as for your first GL, I do suggest a Leia or a Jabba Rush, but Executor should be on your list, and you're going to need time to build up your Executor anyway. DePonch, we are finished for today. We were trying to get through as many as we could in 5 minutes, which we got through like, I don't know, like 7. But come back next time, and if you go to the Discord, let's get a invite to you, my friend. There is a section for all of you who didn't get a roster review today that want a roster review under channels and roles. You can go down here at the very bottom, you click this, and you'll be pinged every time I go live for roster reviews. We try to do roster reviews every time we do GAC, and we also do one roster review stream where it's just roster reviews, usually every Monday, so keep an eye out for that. And then if you know, don't need a roster review anymore, you just click it and it'll get rid of your tag. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do need to get going, and yeah, you guys are amazing. Let me get Mara a treat real quick because you know, little Cuzzle donated for it. Here. Nav, you say that like we don't have another stream for GAC in 3 hours. Like, calm yourself, dude. Which, just because of how long we streamed right now, we may push back the GA stream just a hair. We'll see. I'm not entirely positive yet. I need to make sure, you know, I get all of my stuff that I need to do done. Puff. Jade. Other puff. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Good. Okay. Sorry, Vader slaps. I'm actually heading out. Bacon bits? No, they're little milk bones. They're mini milk bones, and a little thing called
credits will.
It's me, Mara. Thank you for your service, Jotty. Yeah, Jotty. Good girl. Jotty. Oh, and someone donated, or they redeemed a Jar Jar mask. Hold on. Thank. Yeah. Girl. There we go. Let me get that. Huh? Yeah. Oop. Look. Get free from that one. No, you dropped it. I got you. Okay, sweet. Good girl. Down. Let's go see if there's anyone streaming right now that we can raid. It's before GAC opens, so I don't know if anyone's like streaming before the GAC opens. But we're going to attempt to find someone. Wagoo. That one's in Spanish. There's a whole bunch of people that have upcoming ones. When does Nooches start? Does anyone know? Can you just leave the stream on idle? Just leave Mara here to entertain you guys. I've been thinking about getting like a Mara, like a raised chair right here so she can sit next to me while I stream and you guys can see her in the background. Let's see. Let's go look at Nooch. Live. It's at 4 p.m. so it's 2 hours from now. So yeah, there's no point in raiding him. Okay, we're gonna raid this person who's probably gonna be entirely in Spanish, and that's gonna be who you guys go to. You guys have fun with the Spanish man or woman. Let's see if there's anyone on Twitch. There's got to be someone on Twitch. Wow. Once again on Twitch, the only person live is someone who speaks. It's Spanish. So yeah, we're gonna go invade Mexico, guys. It's gonna be a damn good time. 4 p.m. my time. That's 2 hours from now. Sorry, great one. But yeah, so all of you have fun hanging out with this person. I want, okay, very, very specific. I want you guys to write this in their chats. So it's going to be Tango, Queso, and Miss Pantalones, E, which is just a Y, Soy Embarazada. Okay, so Tango, Queso, N, Miss Pantalones, Y, space, Soy Embarazada. I believe in you guys. I believe in you guys. You need to type that out in in their chats to give you a translation. That is like the only phrase I know in Spanish, and it means I have cheese in my pants and I am pregnant. So, yes, I will type that in chat so you guys can copy and paste it. Hold on. I don't know if I'm spelling it fully right, but it doesn't matter. I'm sending it to you guys. Okay. The people on Twitch just moved over. On YouTube, you guys are going to go over there and send it to them.